Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be writing equations of lines. The first way is if you were given a point and a slope. So in number 1 through 4, it says given a point and slope, find the equation of the line. Now there's three different steps that you have to follow. The first step is that you need to plug in the point that's given and the slope into y equals mx plus b. That's going to give you all numbers except for b itself. Then you solve for b so that you now have the y-intercept. And then with the given slope and the new y-intercept that you found, you then plug it into y equals mx plus b again. That is your equation. That's your answer. If you need to press pause, go ahead. Now for number 1, what's given is that you go through the point 2, 5, and the line has a slope of 1/2. So we're going to need to plug these three things into the equation. And when I say three things, I mean the number 2, which is x, the number 5, which is your y, and then this number 1/2, which is this m, which is the slope. So we can go ahead and plug it in. So let's go ahead and look at y equals mx plus b. We know that this is y, so that has to be 5. We know that this is m. M is the 1/2. That's going to be 1/2. And then we know that x is 2, so we're going to put the 2 in there. So this is what it's actually going to look like. 5 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. Now that we have all numbers and only the letter b, we can solve for b now, which is step 2. So first thing we do is we multiply 1/2 times 2. 1/2 of 2 is 1. So now you have 5 equals 1 plus b. The b just comes down. Then to get b by itself, you subtract 1 from both sides, canceling out the 1, leaving you with 4 equals b. Now that you have 4 equals b, you now know that y equals 1/2 x plus 4, which is what you're looking for. This is the answer. Because again, the question is find the equation. The equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 4. Okay? Now for number 2, let's go ahead and put in -3, -4. So again, we're going to do the same exact thing. You have y equals mx plus b. We know that the x itself is going to be the -3, the y is -4, and the m is now 2. So what we need to do is we need to plug that in. What is the equation going to look like when you plug it in? All right, so we have now -4 equals 2 times -3 plus b. 2 times -3 is -6. All right, to get b by itself, we have to add 6 to both sides. That's going to get you 2 equals b. Now that you have b, and you already knew that m is 2, what is the equation of the line going to look like? Go ahead and tell me that. All right, so it's going to be y equals 2x plus 2. Now this 2, the blue one, came from this 2 right here. That green 2 came from m. So the equation is y equals 2x plus 2. All right, press pause if you need to, otherwise we're going to go to number 3. Now for number 3, what's missing is the point 6, -3. Go ahead and write that in. Now go ahead and plug this point and plug in -2/3, which is the slope, into y equals mx plus b. What is it going to look like? All right, so we have -3 equals -2/3 times 6 plus b. Now, what we need to do is multiply -2/3 times 6. Now, if you grab your calculator, you're going to take -2/3 and multiply it with 6. That's going to get you -4. So, -3 equals -4 plus b. Now, how are you going to get rid of -4? All right, to get rid of -4, we add 4 to both sides. Canceling it out, you get b equals 1. So what is the equation now going to look like? All right, so we now have y equals -2/3x plus 1. Again, we are given that -2/3 is the m, and we just found out that our b is 1. Okay? Now for the next one, I want you to do totally on your own. What you're given is that the point that it goes through is the point 3, negative 4, and the slope is 5 over 3. Go ahead and find the equation on your own. Alright, so when we plug it into y equals mx plus b, we get negative 4 equals 5 over 3 times 3 plus b. Now to figure out what 5 over 3 times 3 is, let me get my calculator. So 5 over 3 times 3 equals 5. So we know that negative 4 equals 5 plus b. Subtract 5 from both sides. You get negative 9 equals b. So the equation is y equals 5 over 3x minus 9. Alright, let's go to the back side now. Alright guys, now on the back side it's a different scenario because instead of given 1 point and a slope, you're given 2 points to find the equation of the line. So first what you have to do is plug in the 2 points that are given into an xy chart to find out what the slope is. Then you take one of the points that was given, usually I like to pick the easier point, and the slope which you now found, which now you have, and you're going to find the equation of the line. Now this whole second part that you're writing is pretty much what we did on the front side. So let's go ahead and look at number 5. For number 5, you're given the point negative 2, 5, and you're also given the point 6, 1. Now these are given. Now you got to use these two to find the equation of the line. Now again, it says first you must plug them into the xy chart. So here's my xy chart. You always want to pick the smaller x value. Now what do I mean by that? Well, we have a negative 2 and we have a 6. The number that's smaller is negative 2, so you're going to put the negative 2, 5 first, then you put the 6, 1. Now we're going to go ahead and find out what the change in y is. So how do you get from 5 to 1? You have to subtract 4. And then how do you get from negative 2 to 6? What you have to do there is you have to add 8. So that tells you that the slope is negative 4 over 8, which is the rise over the run, or in other words, the change in y over the change in x. Now you would not use this one because it's not simplified. They both have a 4 in common, so if you divide it by 4, you'll get negative 1. If you divide 8 by 4, you get 2. So the slope is actually negative 1 over 2. Now that we have a slope, which is negative 1/2, it says up here to use one of the points and the slope to find the equation. Now I have two options. I have negative 2, 5 and 6, 1. And I don't want to use a negative unless I have to, so I'm going to use 6, 1 because it's easier. So now for y equals mx plus b, go ahead and plug in the values. Negative 1/2 for m, x will be 6, and then y will be the 1. Go ahead and plug that in right now. So we have 1 equals negative 1 over 2 times 6 plus b. Now when we multiply these two on the side right here, we're going to take, let me get rid of this first. Okay, we're going to plug in negative 1 over 2 and multiply it by 6 in our calculator. That's going to get us a negative 3. So this right here turns into negative 3. Alright, go ahead and solve for b and tell me what the equation is. Alright, to solve for b, we have to add 3 to both sides. That gets you 4 equals b. So our answer is y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 4. Alright, now for number 6, we have 3, 4, and 5, 8. So let's go ahead and plug them into the chart. Which one should go first? Alright, let's put the 3, 4 first because the 3 is smaller than that 5. Now you can find the change in y over the change in x. So the change in y is 4. The change in x is 2. That's going to give you m equals 4 over 2, which equals 2. Now we can go ahead and plug it into the equation. Now for me, there is no negatives, but I do like using smaller numbers better. So I am going to use 3, 4. So let's go ahead and plug it in. Now we have the point 3, 4, and we have m is 2. what is it going to look like when you plug it into y equals mx plus b? Alright, so we have 4 equals 2 times 3 plus b. We need to go ahead and solve this for b and find out what the equation is. So what is b going to be? Alright, so multiply, that gets you 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. B is negative 2 because 4 minus 6 is negative 2. So the equation would then be, alright, we have y equals 2x minus 2. Press pause if you need to, otherwise we're going to go to the next slide. Alright, now for number 7, we have negative 3, 14. We have 5, negative 2. I need you to go ahead and put them into the XY chart. Alright, so the one that's smaller is negative 3. So we're going to go ahead and put negative 3, 14. Then we'll put the 5, negative 2. What is the slope of these 2 points? Alright, so to get from 14 to negative 2, you have to subtract 16. And to get from negative 3 to 5, you have to add 8. That's going to give you a slope of negative 16 divided by 8. That's going to wind up being negative 2. Now that we have negative 2, we can use that in one of the points to find the equation. Each of them do have negative, so either way you're going to have to go with the negative one. The one that I think would be better though is the 5, 2, because of the fact that those numbers are smaller. So we have 5, 2 and we have our negative 2. What is it going to look like when you plug it into y equals mx plus b? Alright, so when you plug this in, you wind up getting negative 2 equals negative 2 times 5 plus b. What is b? Okay, so we're going to multiply this. Negative 2 equals negative 10 plus b. Add 10 to both sides. That's going to get you 8 equals b. So what is the equation going to look like? Okay, we have y equals negative 2x plus 8 because our b is 8 and the slope that we found was negative 2. Alright guys, finally number 8. What we're going to have is the 2 points negative 4, negative 3, and negative 6, 1. Go ahead and find the slope of these 2 points. Alright, when you plug these in, the negative 6 is smaller than negative 4, so I'll put that one first. The change in y is a minus 4. The change in x is a plus 2. So you're going to wind up with negative 4 divided by 2, which gets you a negative 2. Now that we have the slope, we're going to use one of these points. Now your options are negative 4, negative 3, and negative 6, 1. The fact that this one has 2 negatives, I don't want to use it. The one I'm going to use is the negative 6, 1, and then I'm going to use the slope, obviously, and I'm going to find the equation of the line. I want you guys to go ahead and use that point and that slope to find the equation of this line. Go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so when you plug it in, you wind up getting 1 equals negative 2 times negative 6 plus b. Multiply negative 2 and negative 6. That's going to get you a positive 12 because the negative times the negative is positive. Then to get b by itself, we subtract 12 from both sides, getting us negative 11 equals b. Alright, the equation is y equals negative 2x minus 11. Alright guys, see you tomorrow.